Hey everyone, Cassandra here. Today we will be delving into the concept of canon within the Harry Potter and the Wizarding World universe, exploring what officially counts as part of the established and recognized storyline and what is not. There's a lot of different source material out there, and sometimes it can be a bit confusing to determine whether it should be considered canon. So, if you've ever wondered, is this canon on something about Harry Potter, today you'll find out whether it is or isn't. So, what is canon in Harry Potter? When looking for options, there are books, movies, video games, websites, theme parks, exhibitions, interviews, and social media accounts, just to name a few. Let's start off with some book options. The original 7 Harry Potter books. The 7 Harry Potter books, Philosopher's Stone, Chamber of Secrets, Prisoner of Azkaban, Goblet of Fire, Order of Phoenix, Half-Blood Prince, and the Deathly Hallows, are of course canon. These books are where we start our adventure into Harry Potter's life and the wider Wizarding world. While there have been minor changes in the text over the years, these books are where the canon story starts. As a note, the minor changes didn't change the story. They just clarified or fixed little things. For example, in The Philosopher's Stone, when Hagrid is about to leave Perfect Jive, the first edition has him saying, "I'll be taking Sirius his bike back," while later versions say, "I best get this bike away." Sirius was always going to be a player in the story, but the line was switched to avoid messing with the timeline of what happens between Sirius and Pettigrew. Also in The Philosopher's Stone, Harry's list of items he needed for Hogwarts said one wand twice, which was also corrected. There's a bunch of little changes like this, so if you have an early version of the books and say the Kindle version, which is always up to date with any corrections, you can spot the differences. The Hogwarts Library. Another set of books to look at are those included in the Hogwarts Library. These books are Quidditch Through the Ages, Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them, and The Tales of Beedle the Bard. These 3 books are considered canon. While there are different versions of these books, all should be regarded as equally canon. The audiobook of Quidditch Through the Ages has over 90 minutes of bonus content, and the 2017 version of Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them has an additional 6 beasts. The Harry Potter movies. The 8 Harry Potter movies, based on the 7 books, are not considered canon. Steve Kloves and Michael Goldenberg for Order of the Phoenix adapted the books for the screen and made changes that deviated from the original canon storyline. A few examples are, it's Seamus Finnegan, not Hermione, who says, "Nearly headless? How can you be nearly headless?" Ron tries out for Quidditch in Order of the Phoenix, not Half-Blood Prince. Harry doesn't snap the Elder Wand in half and toss it away. These things, with many, many others, break apart from what is considered canon. So, as much as I do love them, these movies are not canon. The Fantastic Beasts movies. Moving on to the Fantastic Beasts movies, currently there are 3 out of the 5 planned movies made. We probably will never get the last 2, but one can still hope. Unlike the Harry Potter movies, these movies are considered canon. JKR actually wrote the screenplay, so the introduction of new characters and storylines are true events. She was also consulted on design choices to ensure that they were visually correct. Now, with any movie or TV show, there's always a chance of an ad-lib line tossed in. You can get the full original screenplay in book form. While I do have a copy of these books, I've never sat down and played the movie while reading the books, so I can't say if any of the actors changed lines around. Even if there were such a line, it would be considered canon as it was approved by JKR. Pottermore. Pottermore was an interactive website about all things Harry Potter. It included games and quizzes, and you could buy the books or audio versions there. JKR was involved in the site's early stages. In time, the site grew more extensive and contained more information. You could find fact files on selected characters. There was also expanded lore on characters, places, magical items, and more. Anything clearly stated as JKR's original writing would be considered canon. Anything else would not. So let's call Pottermore Canon Light. The Wizarding World website. Wizarding World is the new Pottermore. As the canon story evolved beyond Harry Potter's life, Pottermore also had to grow, so a new website was made. Wizarding World has tons of articles, quizzes, puzzles, news updates, fact files, and more. While there's a lot more to read and do on the site, there's nothing really new to canon on there, at least at the moment. The JKR original writings from Pottermore were imported into the site, so this part of the site is canon. The rest of the site is not. So, like Pottermore, let's call this Canon Light. Pottermore Presents. Pottermore Presents is a collection of 3 ebooks. These books are called Hogwarts, an Incomplete and Unreliable Guide, Short Story from Hogwarts of Power, Politics, and Poltergeist, Short Story from Hogwarts of Heroism, Hardships, and Dangerous Hobbies. These 3 ebooks include unique backstory for characters and additional information on places and pieces of magic. All 3 should be considered canon. The Harry Potter Wizarding Almanac. If you were to buy one companion book on Harry Potter, this should be the one. Released in 2023, the Harry Potter Wizarding Almanac includes beautiful artwork. The book is filled with quotes from all 7 books and information on loads of subjects. As much as I love this book, I do wish there was more in it, but what Potter fan doesn't want more details on the Wizarding world? I would say this book is canon. Granted, the artwork is done by several different artists who interpret information from the original books for this book, but I'd still say canon all around. The film books. There are a fair number of film books out there about both Harry Potter and the Fantastic Beasts movies. A few examples would be a movie scrapbook, movie magic, film vault, page to screen, and the blueprints. Since these are based on the movies and not the books, they will fall under the category of not being canon. I will say Page to Screen and the Blueprints are 2 incredible hardcover books. They both have weight to them, so you wouldn't want to drop it on your foot by accident. Page to Screen is about making the movies, and the Blueprints showcase designs and blueprints from the movies. They're both beautiful books. Harry Potter and the Cursed Child. So there's this play called Harry Potter and the Cursed Child you can see in selected cities. You can also get the story they tell in book form. JKR has stated this should be considered canon, so I guess it's canon. Have I seen this play? No. Did I read the book? Yes. Am I a fan of it? Not really. I can't say for sure if I would ever go see the play, but my goodness, this should be considered a fanfic. I wish we weren't told that it's meant to be canon. I'm not going to dive into this video in case anyone watching hasn't seen or read it, but for those of you who have, I'm sure you know why I feel this way. Harry Potter video games. There's a bunch of Harry Potter video games. There's one based on each of the 8 films, 2 Harry Potter Lego games. It's also featured in the Lego Dimension game. Fantastic Beasts: Case of the Wizarding World. There's 2 Wonderbook games, Hogwarts Mystery, Wizards Unite, Magic Awaken, Hogwarts Legacy, and the upcoming Quidditch World Cup game. All of these games would not be considered canon. Since there's often free will in a game, it's hard to ever say if one could be called canon because of that. Hogwarts Legacy did put a lot of existing lore into the game, which made it feel more realistic and immersive, as if the events actually happened before Dumbledore started school there. But sadly, it's not canon. If they do a sequel, they might end up with Albus as a first-year student, as he started in 1892 and the first game began in 1890. If this happens, perhaps JKR would have storylines put into the game and at least make it canon light, but only time will tell on that one. Famous Wizarding cards. I'm sure we all remember when Harry Potter opened his first chocolate frog and found Dumbledore's famous Wizarding card. Well, did you know that JKR wrote 101 bronze, silver, and gold famous Wizarding cards for EA Games? So these original 101 cards would be considered canon. Any ones made after this, or any alterations in different games, are not canon. Warner Brothers Studio Tour London, The Making of Harry Potter. The Making of Harry Potter is a tour you can take at Warner Brothers Studio in Leavesden. It opened back in 2012, and one day I hope to be able to take the tour. I have a fear, though, that with the upcoming TV series, it might change the tour, but I haven't heard of any news confirming that. Since we already said the movies are not canon, this tour, based on making the movies, is not canon, though I'm sure it is a magical experience. Harry Potter, the Exhibition. Harry Potter the Exhibition was a traveling exhibition where you could see over 200 props and replicas from the Harry Potter movies. Just like the studio tour, being based on the movies, this is not canon. Harry Potter, A History of Magic. There was an exhibition called Harry Potter, A History of Magic at the British Library. A History of Magic also has a book and an audiobook and an hour-long film. While these focus on real-world references, some Harry Potter things are sprinkled in. As a whole, this would be considered not canon, but any of the JKR's original works showcased would be canon. So overall, maybe we also call this one canon light. Fantastic Beasts, The Wonder of Nature. This is another exhibition, but focusing on the Fantastic Beasts series. There is also a book that goes along with it. While the Fantastic Beasts movies are considered canon, this exhibition is not. It's more about where lore meets real world and not additional facts on the storyline. Interviews. Any interview with JKR where she mentions information on the storyline should be considered canon. As a world was spawned inside her head, any new information she says gets added into the world we can see. Now, things that actors have said about their characters or the world should be taken with a grain of salt. While they very well could have been given information on their characters that we weren't, unless it's verified by JKR somewhere, it could be their own headcanon they've created for their character. Social media. JKR used to be known for adding new information about the Wizarding World to her Twitter, now X, account. She would also reply to fans to verify or deny theories. As we said earlier, since the Wizarding World was spawned in her head, any information on Harry Potter and the Wizarding World she releases on social media would be considered canon. J.K. Rowling's official site. This website is filled with a lot more than just Harry Potter. It features her other books under her real name and pen name. There are also several news articles and updates, and even parts where J.K. posts herself. While the current version of the site doesn't have too many details on Harry Potter and the Wizarding World, we should look at it just like Pottermore. Any original writing about Harry Potter, the Fantastic Beasts, or the wider Wizarding World should be considered canon. Harry Potter Prequel. The Harry Potter Prequel isn't a book, but an untitled 800-word short story that was written for a charity auction. It has been dubbed Harry Potter Prequel, as it's set years before the events in the Harry Potter books, during the First Wizarding War. The story followed Sirius Black and James Potter while on a motorbike being chased by a pair of Muggle police. This short story should be considered canon, as JKR penned it herself. The new Harry Potter TV series. With the news that HBO Max and Warner Brothers are remaking Harry Potter into a multi-season TV show, this adds one more potential source of canon material. It's been stated that it will be made closer to the books than the movies did, so would that make it canon? Probably not. I can't imagine there won't be changes to the base storyline. I just hope they find actors who really fit the characters and actually include all of the characters. I want Peeves, I want Ludo Bagman, I want Charlie Weasley. Give us everyone in the books. Alright, so we've made it to the end of the video, but let's do a quick recap on the 21 sources I mentioned. Under canon, we have all 7 Harry Potter books, the Hogwarts Library, the Fantastic Beasts movies, Pottermore Presents, the Harry Potter Wizarding Almanac, Harry Potter and the Cursed Child, JKR's interviews, JKR's social media, and the Harry Potter prequel. Under Canon Light, we have Pottermore, Wizarding World, Famous Wizarding Cards, Harry Potter, A History of Magic, and JKR's official site. Under Not Canon, we have all 8 Harry Potter films, the film books, Harry Potter video games, Warner Brothers Studio Tour London, The Making of Harry Potter, Harry Potter the Exhibition, Fantastic Beasts, The Wonder of Nature, and probably not canon, Harry Potter TV show. So, there you have it, a breakdown of what is and isn't canon in Harry Potter and the wider Wizarding World. Thank you for listening. If you enjoyed this video and want to support the channel, please consider giving a like and drop a comment. You can also subscribe for more videos. I'll be back again soon with another video, but until then, keep enjoying the magic.